It is nice to come together, yes? For co-creation, expansion, awareness, more, new, especially new, more. You come for fun? Yes. That matters most. You come for learning? No. Fun. For fun. For fun. If your goal is fun, the learning follows. The expansion happens whether you are aware of it or not. But when you miss it, it's not fun. If your goal is fun, if you are looking for fun, then you will most likely find your alignment. And once you find alignment with all that you are, then it isn't that you learn things that you will then retain. It's that in that alignment, you know things that are. In this present, powerful now, in your full alignment, there is a recognition that is more than you usually own. You are so much more than you often know. You are so much more than you could ever remember. But you are not more than you can realize in moments of alignment. That really is the key. You are extensions of source energy, which means you are source energy, which means you are the leading edge of source energy. You don't usually feel that way about yourself, but we want you to. We want you to feel the way you lead all that is into what is more, into what is new. And when you are consciously aware of that blending, of that allowing, of that aligning, when you are consciously aware of the connection, the wholeness of you, the allowance of the fullness, the wholeness, the allness of you, when you are allowing who you really are to be present with you, when you allow yourself in your conscious physical human form to be the receiver, the inspired receiver of that broader perspective, when you allow yourself to be present in this moment, participating with whatever you are doing, talking with whoever you are talking with about whatever is important to you, allowing the full presence of who you are to be there. So you are experiencing life through the eyes of source, through the knowing of source. That's when you become the true savorer of this life experience. It is only then, really, it is only then that life is as you have intended it to be. Not one of you said, I'll go forth into the physical, but I'll take a human stance that separates me from the fullness of all that I am. Not one of you said, I'll pinch myself off and I'll prove my worthiness in order to return to that. Every one of you said, I will utilize my guidance system and I will know moment by moment how much of all that I am allowing to flow in this moment in time. You intended to be tuned in, tapped in, turned on. You intended to feel the eagerness all of the days of your physical life, all of the moments of your physical life, in the way that source within you feels about your physical life. The most significant thing that you are not always, hardly ever, aware of, that we really want you to be aware of, is that source is present with you now. Now, now, now. It's not something that you work to achieve. It's not something that you earn. It is something that you are. It is a worthiness that is indefinable. It is a presence of source with you at all times, that when you tune to the frequency of it and become the conscious allower of it, then you fulfill your reason for being, which is joyous expansion. You can't stop expanding, but the joyous part is optional. You get to choose how alert you are, how alive you are, how vital you feel. You get to choose. your clarity or your confusion. You get to choose your good timing or bad timing. You get to choose all of it, but you choose it not by the subject. You choose it not so much by the moment and what the moment is offering. You choose it by the vibrational frequency that you have tuned yourself to. Not long ago, someone asked us the most significant question we've ever been asked. And we gave this person the most significant answer that we have ever offered. This person asked, how do I get rid of doubt? And we said, you get rid of it before it starts, which was completely annoying to this person. Odd that the most important answer would be received so unhappily. What if I already have doubt? How do I get rid of it? Well, it won't stay. Just don't keep it coming. Your alignment with Source is something that you gradually can accomplish, but it's not like a college degree where once you accomplish it, it is yours forevermore with a plaque on the door that says, I've achieved this and this is who I am. Your alignment with Source is something that you're either doing or you're not in this moment. And you can tell whether you are doing it or not by the way you feel. In moments of clarity, in moments of exhilaration, in moments of love and passion and appreciation, you are right there doing it. You have achieved a vibrational stance that is allowing you in this moment, in this powerful now, where all that is converges. You are allowing the fullness of who you are to be present. And in moments that you're not feeling such positive emotion, in moments of doubt, or in moments of fear, or in moments of anger, those emotions are your indicator that you have chosen a thought which has accomplished a frequency which is disallowing your alignment and keeping you from being all that you are. That's why negative emotion always feels so empty. It's not empty. You can never pinch yourself off from Source. But you can put a kink in the hose. You can slow down the clarity. You can deprive yourself unwittingly, unknowingly. We know you are not doing it on purpose. You do not meet your mate in the morning and say, I've decided to use you as my excuse to disallow my alignment with Source today. You do not see your children and say, you know, the conditions that you are providing for me are preventing me from alignment, and so just keep them coming. Because instead what you do is you observe the conditions of your environment, not realizing that some conditions are conducive to alignment and some are not. So it seems that the perfect way to live would be to sift through the variety that surrounds you and look for the conditions that then align you with Source. But that's the hard way of going about it. Because when you become one who is dependent upon conditions for feeling good, then in sifting for the conditions, you're going to also find those conditions that do not feel so good. We're going to be talking in the glorious days that we have together, a lot about unconditional alignment, unconditional beingness. Not because we want you to deprive yourself of conditions, for we do not. We want you to embrace the glorious conditions of your environment. But we want you to no longer be dependent upon the conditions to line up in a way that you need them to be in order to feel good, because that's a trap that will not serve you. So many are living in that way. They are looking at some conditions and feeling so good, and then they feel robbed or deprived when there are conditions that cause them to feel bad. And as they look at the conditions that cause them to feel bad, they set out, often in groups or troops with others who agree with them about the conditions, in order to sort them out and demand of the others to behave in a way that gives them a reason to focus and feel good. And we say, there is no freedom in that, and there is no point in doing that, because you cannot control the conditions that surround you, but you can control your vibrational frequency, which accomplishes the conditions. And so, can you feel the difference between being one who is looking for positive conditions and often finding them, but in the process often finding conditions that aren't so good, and then saying, oh, you make me feel so good as I see you in your way. But you over there, not so much. So you need to be more like that. You've noticed that with your children, haven't you? But most are stubborn because they know at some level of their being that they are not born to provide conditions that make you feel better. And when you give that up, when you give up the conditional love that so many are striving for, and you discover the power in your own focus, in your own feeling for your alignment with Source, when you let your alignment be what you are reaching for, now you have it figured out. One day not so long ago, Esther was sitting on the porch at her Texas home, admiring the magnificence of the things in her view. The pool, the trees, the birds in the trees, the sculptures in the garden. She felt unspeakable appreciation, a heightened awareness, an ability to perceive, and a feeling came over her unlike anything that she had ever felt. It was like exaggerated appreciation. It was like a feeling of being blessed, a feeling of worthiness, beyond anything that she had felt before. She liked it. And then she said, but Abraham, I think I've found a flaw in your conversation, because this is a condition that I'm focused upon. These cranes have been created by a masterful artist, and they are a condition that I am appreciating. And this tree, it is 200 years old, and it is beautiful, and it is a condition that I'm responding to. And this swimming pool, it is artful, it is magnificent, it is perfect. It is a condition that I am responding to. And we said, but Esther, you have sat here many times, and you've looked at all of these things, and you have not felt this way before. Is that true? And Esther had to acknowledge she had never felt it not like this. And we said the difference is you didn't look at the tree and ask it to give you a good feeling response. And you didn't look at the pool or the cranes or the birds. You were not looking at the conditions and asking for a response. You were there when you looked. You were already in full alignment. You were experiencing unconditional love. You were there before the conditions came into your view. The conditions came on the heels of your alignment. Your alignment caused you to experience the conditions in profound, meaningful way. You weren't begging the condition to produce the emotion. Can you see the difference? If you can hear this, then you have figured everything out that you will ever need, because you have access to infinite intelligence. You are extensions of Source energy, and you have only to find a way to be in alignment with that, and then the view that Source finds through that which is you will produce within you the emotion that we have just described, the emotion of well-being, the emotion of expansion, the emotion of worthiness, the emotion of knowing for sure that you are loved, and that all that is exists right here in this moment in time for your pleasure, for your acknowledgement,